There's a long list of people I'll never have respect for. Cheaters, drunk drivers, animal abusers, murderers. Yeah, that's right, I'm not afraid to say it. I'm not gonna censor myself. I think you gotta be a real jerk to kill someone. Standing wipers is another one. I don't understand what kind of psychopath would stand up after doing their business to wipe when the toilet seat already spreads your cheeks, giving you the optimal angle of entrance to your butthole. Doesn't make any sense. You're adding extra steps and more of a nuisance. And another thing that I'll never have respect for are pathetic scumbags that abuse the YouTube strike system because their feelings got hurt. And that has been happening quite a bit lately on the platform. It's been an incredible week for little slimy weasels that like to use the YouTube strike system because someone made a video they weren't overly happy about. So I wanted to march on in here and administer some wedgies and shoot spitballs at these fucking dweebs that are doing this disgusting weenie behavior where they're abusing this YouTube system to try and get rid of videos that said not nice things about their content. The first one I want to cover is from this YouTube channel, Penguinz0. They received a copyright strike from another YouTuber named The Manny Show. I'll go ahead and play a clip from this video that explains it.
That one of my videos had a copyright takedown, which is very new to my channel. The video in question that was taken down is why everyone hates The Manny Show. And the YouTube automated email says, "Hi Penguinz, we received a copyright removal request."
I was unfamiliar with The Manny Show before this situation, and I really missed 30 minutes ago when I was still in ignorant bliss about who this was, because this shit is insufferable. It's a massive YouTube channel that just aims to fill the shorts algorithm with brain rot content to try and farm subs off of it. It sucks. It super sucks. Copyright strikes are a huge deal. It's more than just the video getting taken down. It affects the entire channel. I'm sure all of you are familiar with the strike system on this platform. It's the nuclear option. When someone does that, it's a declaration of war, and that's when things get extremely serious. And it's also an unforgivable sin on the internet. If you ever have that little devil on your shoulder that convinces you to file a copyright strike, just know that blemish is gonna haunt you for the rest of your fucking life on the cyberspace. People don't forget that. So if you're filing a strike on a channel, you better hope that that channel is publicly beheading puppies or something, because otherwise, everyone's going to hate you for it forever. Strikes, in an ideal world, would be reserved for repeat offender channels that are publishing like borderline criminal content. Anything aside from that, and you could just file a normal copyright claim and block. You don't have to choose to strike the channel. You can just take down the video you think is in violation of your copyright or whatever, and have that be that. But when you go the extra step here and put the cherry on top of the shit cake with a strike, then it becomes a huge deal. But in a situation like this, the Manny Show would still very much be in the wrong, even if they took the lesser of two evils and just removed the video without the strike. Because they have no grounds for removing the video whatsoever. They have no legs to stand on. It's a completely fraudulent claim that blatantly abuses YouTube's system. The channel that was struck, Penguinz0, is a commentary channel that will play a clip from a piece of content, let it play for like 10 or 15 seconds or so, and then talk about it, giving their commentary on whatever they're going over, whatever the subject is. Looking at the removal request, we can see that 13 seconds of the video was enough to lead the Manny Show to strike the entire fucking channel here. That's some fucking filthy fish paste right there. 13-second clip was enough to have the Manny Show bring the hammer down with the iron fist on the channel, because Penguinz0 was saying some less than stellar things about the Manny Show, I guess. But you can't strike someone because your feelings were hurt over what he was saying about your content. That's just not how it works. He hasn't violated any rules at all. You are totally fine to play bits and pieces from other content and then talk about it, transform it with your commentary, your jokes, your input, whatever it is. It's not like Penguinz0 took the entire video from the Manny Show and re-uploaded it without adding anything to it, without changing it whatsoever. There was no rules that were broken here, at least not from what I can tell. I also will just never understand this strategy of doing something like this, because as the Manny Show or part of the Manny Show team, you would have to know that Penguinz or any commentary channel ever would see this and immediately talk about it, because this is just a big no-no. This is like an unwritten rule on YouTube that you don't strike another YouTuber just because they hurt your feelings. That will always backfire on you in the biggest possible way, and it puts all of the eyes on you as the bad guy, as the villain. You won't get support for that. No matter what Penguinz was saying about you, and I can't go watch the video since it's been taken down, but I imagine he was calling him cringe or something. Now you have made things significantly worse for yourself. The video title that got taken down was Why Everyone Hates the Manny Show, and I don't know what the reason behind it was, but I can tell you what it will be now. The reason why everyone hates the Manny Show is because they're very sensitive and file false strikes on other YouTubers' channels. I can now answer that question for why people hate the Manny Show. And that's because of your actions. Not even because of your content, it's because what you've done when someone criticized you. It's fucking stupid. It's so dumb. Speaking of dumb and stupid, we have the actual fucking mascot for those things, Tech Lead here. He is apparently still filing false DMCA claims. I just made a video talking about him. I called it Complete Loser. I went over his last fraudulent strike that he issued on Internet Anarchist. Mudahar posted this on June 29th, so only a couple days ago. This appears to be a screenshot of Tech Lead filing a DMCA takedown request. This is a classic SpongeBob, how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man moment. This one is particularly enjoyable though, because this means that YouTube automatically declined Tech Lead's attempt to falsely strike another channel. This doesn't happen super often with YouTube, but they do have measures in place to prevent offenders like Tech Lead from abusing these systems once they're made aware of it. So what happens, and I've seen it a couple of times, what happens is you take one of these fucking worms like Tech Lead, they file a takedown removal request. YouTube will then start processing it and realize that this is just a bunch of hooey. So YouTube will actually send you an email making you aware that someone tried to target a particular video for a particular reason. In Mudahar's case, that video from a Tech Lead segment. And they tell you that they are not going to take any action because they believe it's fair use, but they want to put it on your radar in case you want to do something with that information. The reason they state is in case you want to delete it just to be safe, to avoid any kind of like legal ramifications if they decide to go above the YouTube strike system. So they just give you that information so that way you can plan your next steps accordingly, whether it's deleting the video or contacting the party directly. So that's why Mudahar has that copy there of the Tech Lead DMCA. It's because YouTube thought it was such a load of barnacles that they didn't even bother fucking with it. They just threw it into the trash pile right away, but sent a copy to Mudahar to basically use as toilet paper if he wants. That is so poetic for Tech Lead. YouTube won't even take him seriously anymore. I'm surprised they haven't taken legal action against him since he has openly on record admitted to abusing their system, which is a legal problem. That is actually him admitting to some very bad activity that YouTube could absolutely slap him for. And I think they probably will. This is leading me to believe that YouTube is now very much aware of Tech Lead and what he's doing, and I really think YouTube might take actual action against him for this garbage. Now maybe I'm huffing copium like crack here, but it really to me does seem like YouTube might do something. They're declining his DMCAs without even bothering to process them anymore because they must be aware that this is just bogus. Like it's fake, fraudulent. So maybe they'll do something against Tech Lead. I think they absolutely should. And this has nothing to do with his false DMCA takedown strike crusade that he's going on, but I have to talk about this because it was so pathetic. A few nights ago, actually by this point it's probably like 5 or 6 nights ago, maybe even like a week ago, I'm losing track of time, everything's blending together. But I was streaming Elden Ring, I was playing the DLC, and I saw Tech Lead poke his curious little head up in my chat. And he would cheer on whatever boss I was fighting at the time, like, go get him, demon guy, beat his ass, that kind of thing. You called me a complete loser? Well, look at you, you're dying to this Elden Ring boss, loser. And nobody in the chat even noticed he was there. He's such an insignificant fly that even his attempts to try and stir up shit in the chat didn't work. It just flew under the radar because no one gives a fuck about him. But I saw him because I'm always paying attention to the chat. It's the most fun about streaming is interacting with the community. So I saw a tech lead in there, but I didn't call any attention to him. I just sat there and just looked at what he was saying. And I know he started fuming because I'm actually good at Elden Ring. So he came in during the Mother Finger boss fight, and it only took me like 5 tries or something on that boss. And he came in there at like the third or so try. So he only got to see me take 1, maybe 2 deaths until I beat the boss. And then he just had to sit there and say some other nonsense outside of that because I wasn't struggling on the bosses. And I just found that to be so embarrassing that this grown-ass man would take like 30, 40 minutes, whatever it was, out of his evening. And it was late too. It was like 2 a.m., 1 a.m., something like that. To hopefully watch me struggle on Elden Ring bosses and then not even get the pleasure of seeing that. Now, if he came in later and saw me on the final boss, he would have had quite a spectacle, because that boss is fucking brutal. That took me like almost 3 hours to beat. But he came on the bosses that I was able to just fucking slap around and put the smackdown on. And he just had to sit there and just say nonsense, and no one responded to it. And I just see it and kind of like smile internally about it. I just had to point that out. I found that to be like so embarrassing. I don't know how he went to sleep that night with that level of shame. Going into my chat to try and start shit only to have no response from anybody. Just straight up crickets. So I had to mention that since we were already talking about this loser anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about these 2 cases here because within just a week, we've already seen 2 YouTubers, again, falsely strike or attempt to strike other channels for nonsense reasons. And I think that shit sucks. That's about it. See ya. Hello and welcome back to the People I Don't Like corner. Today we have a special repeat guest joining us for the launch of the new season here, Phidias. You might remember Phidias from this iconic YouTube classic where he went to the world's poorest country and tried to turn it into some kind of spectacle. This is actually the original thumbnail from Pyrocynical's video. After the backlash, though, he changed it to his current one, which is this. The video is, I spent 100 hours in the world's poorest country, and basically it boils down to him going, whoa, look at all these poor people. Glad I'm not poor. That's kind of the entire vibe of the video. He tries to put some kind of wholesome, almost altruistic spin on it, but it falls entirely flat when the actual content is him going, oh, you're poor? This is how you live? Oh, ew. Oh! There's even a fucking scene in there where he goes to one of the classrooms and he pulls out his phone and basically just flexes on him saying like, I have the entire world's knowledge at my fingertips.
They are not only from school, they are online from the phone. They can access all the clever minds. I said this because only 10% of the population has access to the internet. I left the class and felt inspired.
This scene is a particular flavor of goofy that you don't see that often. It's goofy mixed with delusion, a very powerful alchemy. If you pay attention to the clip, you can see the teacher give him a really confused look as he pulls out his own smartphone, and Phidias like kind of blocks him with Elon Musk's head as the teacher approaches, and then he cuts to a different clip. And so I'm pretty sure the teacher felt a little insulted here because Phidias is treating everyone there like they're stupid, and it seems like the teacher approaches him with smartphone in hand to just let him know like, hey, we do have technology here, you don't need to act this way towards us. At least that's the impression I get. Anyway, I'm focusing too much on this video in particular. I'm just using this to showcase why I haven't liked Phidias even before what we're about to talk about today. So this video was labeled as poverty tourism, where Phidias went to this country in order to use everyone there as props for his content to make money off the back of all of it. Half the video is spent saying how cheap everything is to the people's faces. There's also scenes where he goes to where people live and he's noticeably disgusted. It's a bad video, but there were arguments made that it came from good intentions. I don't agree with that. I think Phidias is a narcissist and his entire intention here was just maximizing views, and spending 100 hours in the poorest country as some kind of YouTube challenge I think is completely tasteless. But the reason I mention that is because what he's done today has no arguments in support of Phidias. What he did today is going across Japan for free. That was his challenge video. And fundamentally, it's him just filming a series of crimes that he commits in order to go across Japan for free.
I'm going to travel across Japan for free against these 3 YouTubers, and the winner gets $10,000. So I ask a stranger to give me some money. Oh my god, I love you!
I'm not going to go through the whole thing because you're going to get the idea pretty quickly here. It's not just him doing it, he roped in 3 other YouTubers to be accomplices in the crime, which apparently in Japan is a pretty serious crime from everything I've read, the refusal to pay for the services of public transportation is treated as a pretty serious offense, more serious than this face I'm about to make. So you know that it's not something they take lightly. I've also read from a couple of sources that they're considering like an actual investigation into this situation, though I don't think anything's 100% confirmed there. But regardless, what he has done is still illegal. Now, in the beginning here, he asks a stranger for money so he can pay for the bus. I guess that counts because he's not using his own money, thus he is still traveling for free.
To go down, so hopefully he doesn't ask me to pay.
Get off?
Yes.
680. Yeah.
6. Only,
Six.
only this.
80.
No, no, man.
80.
No.
Police.
No, no.
Come on, police station. 80 yen.
Because I was 80 yen short. In the police station, they started interrogating me and they took my phone away, so I couldn't film anything.
Good lord, even the brain worms inside of his noodle must be in agony. When his neurons are firing, it just produces nothing but trash. The clout-poisoned mind that this guy has is so impressive, I think it actually deserves to be studied at some point. Just taking a peek at his frontal lobe and his thought process would be insightful. He gets detained for 5 hours in Japan, and the number one thing he was concerned about is he wasn't able to film it. I don't know how you even end up that fucked up. That is so degenerate and so embarrassing. He said the police eventually let him go and covered the 80 yen that he was short, so I imagine they just got unbelievably annoyed with this goober and said, enough is enough, we can't take the headache any longer, get the fuck out of here, we'll cover it, just leave us alone. So they send him on his way and he immediately goes and commits a series of crimes.
So the police already knows me, so I'm going to disguise myself. Now, being disguised, I'm ready to sneak in the train.
This is my train.
So let's hope that nobody gets me.
And now it's time to teach you how to get the train for free. So I'm entering the train and I will find the toilet and go straight to the toilet. Here is the bathroom. I will just lock myself the whole time in the bathroom.
Man played Assassin's Creed one time and thought a hoodie up would solve all of his problems. It'd just be the perfect disguise. All the NPCs around him would forget that he exists as long as the hood's up. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough. He beelined straight to the bathroom in order to ride for free all the way to his destination. But it's the bathroom. People are going to need to use that at some point, so he gets some knocks on the door, and it starts to cause a little bit of an alarm from the authorities there that something is awry. You know, either this man's taking the biggest shit of all time, or the shit just took him. Or, the most likely explanation, this is a guy who's riding for free. He's breaking the law right now. So the authorities wait for him to get out of the bathroom.
So I came to my destination now. I think he is waiting for me outside.
And I was right. He was just waiting to catch me. So the only thing I could do is to pretend that I'm sick.
チケット見せてください。ダメダメダメno no。チケット。チケット。
When I sat down, he released me, and immediately I started running. But he called the police, and they are searching for me now.
We're definitely getting in trouble here.
So the officers got him in like a WWE lockup here. He's got him, caught with his pants down, and eventually Phidias wiggles his way free and says that the cops were called on him, so he's trying to beat them to the next train so he can continue his crime spree. Now, I'm going to break the magician's code here and just speculate on something. I think this part is probably faked. I think it was real that he didn't pay and wasn't planning to, but when he did get briefly apprehended by the authorities there, I think what most likely happened is he paid for the ride he had just experienced and then is only pretending that he ran away from them. I don't think even he is stupid enough to try and evade arrest like this. You would actually have to be one of the biggest fucking idiots on the planet to do this, and also film it. I just can't believe that there's enough whippets in the world that you could hit that would damage your brain enough to think that any of this is a good idea. But he is a YouTuber at the end of the day, which means he probably is just fucking dumb enough to really do this and think that it's smart, all while filming his entire crime spree.
There are ticket inspectors on this train, so I'm hiding in the toilet. This is stressful, I'm not gonna lie. It's getting to my nerves.
Luckily, the train has arrived before the police could find me.
Again, we're going to do the same method. Toilet.
Can't believe that this is real and not a movie.
It'd be the most boring movie ever. I just think the whole concept of the video is dog shit. Traveling across Japan for free isn't an interesting concept. You can do anything for free. I'll just go ahead and spoil it for you. If you want to be a criminal. Right now, you could go to the store and get a 100% discount off any item if you just take it and run. It's not like they've come up with like a clever plan or anything remotely interesting or entertaining. They just go to the shitter on the trains and sit there until they reach their destination. That's it. It's so fucking lame. It's just committing crimes. All you are doing is committing crimes and recording all of the evidence of what you've done. Assuming, of course, it's real, which you never really know for sure. I think there's a good chance that all of this was real, but I also think there is a chance that it's fake, where they did just pay for their trip and pretend that they didn't, though in the beginning I am confident he did actually just try and exploit the kindness of that Japanese person who gave him money for the bus, and then refusing to cover what was missing and then spent 5 hours in the police station. All of that I think was legitimate, but I think there is a chance that all of the free train rides were faked. Because I really just can't imagine a world where this fucking goofball ran away from the authorities after he was caught in the bathroom after not paying. So that's just my working game theory there, but regardless, it sucks. This guy sucks. And speaking of exploiting kindness, I really just can't stand the way this guy interacts with the people around him. He treats all of them like they're NPCs. He really does. So a lot of the video is spent hitchhiking towards the end, where they're all getting like different rides from different strangers to where they need to go. And all of the people giving them the rides are absolute sweethearts. And Phidias in particular films all of it, of course, and just the way he talks to them makes it sound so condescending. Like he speaks to them like he thinks they're stupid. Like that's the impression he gives off, that everyone that he interacts with is beneath him because they are props to him. And I can't fucking stand it. He pinned a response to this whole thing by saying, "Hello, beautiful people. I apologize to the Japanese people if we made them feel bad. That was not our goal. From now on, I am going to make more research to the cultures we go to and try to prevent this from happening again. I love you all." Actual 0 out of 10 response here. If this was a YouTuber apology tier list, this would be the biggest, fattest fucking F I could ever give. What are you talking about? You need to do more research on the cultures you go to prevent this from happening? Every culture in the world, this isn't legal. Even here in the States too, you can't just do things and not pay for it. I mean, you can, but you are breaking a law. You are a criminal. It's not like this is a Japanese specific thing here that was just I'm so sorry guys, I didn't do enough research on the culture. This mistake could have happened to anyone.
There is the checkpoint! All of my competitors in this challenge, they are amazing YouTubers, and I put all their channels in the description. Go and check them out and subscribe to them. I'm getting closer!
This actually just made me giggle. Actually gave me a hearty belly laugh like Santa Claus here. Because he says, "Oh, all my competitors, amazing YouTubers, check them out, they're in the description." No, they're not. They're not in the description. Imagine being some of these 3 YouTubers that just broke bad here, went down a life of crime for the sake of this video, and still just don't even get your channel in the video itself. So you have really no way of easily finding them. They actually got nothing out of it except a potential criminal rap sheet, perhaps. That is the worst end of the deal. Phidias, I guess, gets some views out of it, which equal money. They get less than nothing. I also went back to the intro of the video, just in case maybe I missed it somewhere. But no, he just says, "I'm doing this against these 3 YouTubers," and puts arrows to them without any mention of who they are, and then they all split off and run away. So there is no telling who they even are. They actually just got erased from this. That is how much of a narcissist Phidias is. He couldn't even bother to squeeze their channels in somewhere after they committed crimes for his video with him. That is the cherry on top of this shit cake. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's about it. So yeah. This is going to be the last video I make on this topic. I just feel obligated to give a little update, a slight follow-up to yesterday's video, since a lot has happened over the last 24 hours and a couple things have changed. Yesterday I posted a video talking about the most disgusting trend on YouTube right now, and over the last 24 hours, it's gotten worse. Just like a porta potty at an EDM music festival, it just keeps getting shittier. I'll quickly go ahead and slap you with the cliff notes on the trend that I'm talking about. A beloved YouTuber named Technoblade recently passed away, and some degenerate, low-life douchebags have been trying to use that as a way of profiting, whether it's subscribers or actual money. So that's basically the meat of the situation here, and over the last 24 hours, it's gotten real wacky here. This has taken some really unpredictable twists here that not even M. Night Shyamalan could have written. One of these accounts that posted like 10 Technoblade videos faked a charity donation. I'll get into that in a minute, but it has been getting really fucking awful. But I want to start with the only piece of good news. Yesterday, I mentioned a channel called It's Owen, which was the channel that actually got banned for clickbaiting Technoblade's passing by making videos like Mr. Beast's final message to Technoblade and shit like that. His account got banished to the Shadow Realm for it, but he was trying to argue with them on Twitter to get it reinstated, and YouTube came out today and wiped their ass with his face, letting him know that he will not be getting his account back and he will not be able to make any further accounts, which I think is huge because, as I mentioned, he had multiple other accounts that he was clickbaiting on and then turning around and selling on Twitter. So it seems like he's also lost access to all the other accounts too. God, that feels good to read. This is a rare YouTube W here. Just served him up a plate of spaghetti and meatballs. Hold the balls. He's off the platform for good, it seems, and in response to this cowardly weenie privated his Twitter account. The once proud Owen, who wasn't afraid to let the world and all the plebeians know that he doesn't give a fuck, and that he's proud to be called the king of clickbait, is all of a sudden hiding and retreating into the shadows like a spooked little goblin going back to his cave. I'm sure this won't be the end of Owen on the platform. I'm certain he'll pop up somewhere again with more clickbait, but this is still a great thing to see YouTube stick to their guns on what is the right decision, since his content actually was a violation of their policy. Now, unfortunately, that's the only sliver of good news in this awful situation, so I wanted to start with the dessert, so that way the vegetables will be more tolerable, and let's get into that now. The Dream SMP official channel. This is a channel I talked about yesterday. It's run by a guy named Runalong, who is not a Dream SMP member. This account is not official, despite the name saying it is, so it's already misleading and tricking people into thinking that this is actually made in collaboration with Dream SMP, when it's not. It's run by one guy. It is fully monetized, and as of yesterday, they had posted 25 videos, all on the passing of Technoblade, all fully monetized. Now, they've posted up to 27, and since I'm making this video at 5:30 p.m., I imagine by the time this video goes up, he'll probably have posted one or two more on Technoblade in that time. But right now, they have posted 27 videos, all on Technoblade and his passing. In yesterday's video, I pulled up the Discord screenshots that someone had a conversation with Runalong and asked him about the money. He said that he's giving half of the money from the AdSense to charity. So, naturally, you can assume that he's keeping the other half, which means he is directly profiting off milking this Technoblade situation here. Now, he does say a portion in the messages, but I have to assume he meant like half, because a portion doesn't even sound like that much, but I'm guessing he meant half. In the beginning of some of his Technoblade videos, he puts a message on screen that's like this, where he says most of the money is going to charity, so it's a lot of mixed messages here, and then encourages viewers to not skip the ads, which, from what I've read, is almost a violation of the YouTube policy in and of itself. That's such a fucking weird thing to ask too. Don't skip the ads because then you're taking money away from charity. Why are you trying to guilt viewers like that? If the point of the content is to celebrate Technoblade's life, why the fuck are you going to try and make people feel bad if they're running ad block or skipping ads? That's already extremely douchey. And it should raise a lot of red flags to viewers as well, behind the actual motive of these videos. What's the intent? If it's supposed to be positive and celebrating Technoblade, why is there immediately an emphasis on money? The purpose of the videos isn't fundraising, because if it was, he would have put the fundraiser on the video, which he didn't, which is also mentioned in the screenshots. If it was all about raising money, there would be a fundraiser on the side of the video, just like every other video that tries to raise money for a good cause. But that's clearly not here, which means that can't be the reason for the videos. So then what the fuck is up with the emphasis on money and not skipping the ads in the beginning? That's shady as hell. That's so fucking sketchy. But even aside from the actual dollars going into his pocket from AdSense here, the channel has gained thousands of new subscribers from posting all of this content. 27 videos, and most of them are just extremely short, where it'll be like a minute and a half where Run Along took a screenshot of one person's community post and put text-to-speech over it. And then he'll publish the video, put ads on it, and call it a day. And then he'll do that multiple times a day. He's posted 27 videos like that in 5 days. He treats Technoblade's death as if it's a coin block in Super Mario Brothers for him, where he'll just jump up and hit it, but instead of getting a coin, he gets views out of it. It's so fucking gross. And like I said, it's not even just about the money. If none of his videos were monetized, the fact that he still made 27 of them shows very clear intent to gain as much from this situation as possible, so that way he can personally capitalize off it. There is no excuse for 27 videos on a tragedy like this. That's so fucked up. It's beyond scummy. However, Dream SMP Official sees it differently. Yesterday, Run Along, the owner of the account, posted a response to my video, as well as other people that called him out, and it is so laughably awful that it only existed for 21 minutes on the channel before Run Along realized how bad it was. But luckily there's a few re-uploads, so I'll go ahead and show you it.
Has recently come to my attention by people harassing me that there seems to be a problem. The Technoblade videos I've posted gathered a lot of hate, and YouTubers made videos on me for them. First, these YouTubers are getting millions of views commenting on the situation and making thousands of dollars by reacting to everything. This is super hypocritical while trying to expose me for not donating the money to charity.
Wrong. Just immediately wrong. Coming in here like Phoenix Wright with the objection here. I'm pretty sure he didn't even bother watching the videos. He probably just like read a couple comments and thought he understood the gist. I even made a point to say it's not about him donating the money to charity. The irrefutable fact is you have made 27 videos on the passing of Technoblade, whether that's getting streamer reactions to the news, or just looking at tweets about it, or just going to different moments of the past to put a Technoblade video out. That's an excessive amount of content, all focused on a tragedy. And yeah, the fact that they're fully monetized is a bit scummier, and the fact that you openly admit that only half of the AdSense is going to charity while I imagine you're keeping the other half is like Mr. Krabs level of greed. You know, it's not like these videos cost you anything to make. You took a screenshot and used free text-to-speech. These were free videos. So it's not like you had any overhead that you're needing to cover or anything. So yeah, that does make it even scummier. But it was never the crux of what I was talking about. You are profiting more than money with subscribers. Your channel is growing because you have made 27 videos milking a tragedy. You are profiting off the death of a beloved, great person, and I think it's shitty, as do most people. That's what you're getting all of the less than favorable reviews for, because you keep making videos on this. It's just disrespectful at this point, and you can't argue that it's a positive thing. You lost that right after your 20th upload on the subject. You just treat this as a view farm, a fucking cheat code for views, engagement, and subscribers. You also then draw a shitty comparison between what you're doing and the people that are calling you out. It's not hypocritical. The people that are calling you out, myself included, aren't profiting off Technoblade's passing like you are. We are, I guess, profiting off insulting the scumbags like you and calling you out for your dog shit behavior and this awful, degenerate shit that you keep unapologetically posting.
Most say that they highly doubt I'll donate anything while they don't even know me. People seem to not understand that it takes a month before YouTube pays you. Before jumping to conclusions, I will update everyone about my donation on the community tab or video showing me donating all the revenue from the Technoblade straight into charity. Have videos where it's either honoring his death or showing unrelated clips of his brother. All these YouTubers just hop on the hype train to profit for themselves.
Again, using charity as a shield here. It's not about the money, though you are singing a different tune publicly than you were privately. Apparently, you're claiming to donate all the money to charity now, so I guess that's a little bit better. But that was never the fucking point of the people calling you out, or at least it wasn't for me. It is you milking the situation and gaining so much on your channel for it. Subscribers are far more valuable than views, and you've gained a ton of them. So even if you donate all your AdSense revenue to charity, which is cool, I suppose, you have still profited so much off milking the situation with all the subscribers and popularity you've gained from this. And you can't take that back. Regardless of how much you donate to charity and this and that, you will forever be known as the insufferable asshole who took advantage of the passing of a fucking great person. That's your legacy now, whether you like it or not. And no matter what you say is not going to change my mind nor the minds of many others, because it is blatantly obvious with so many uploads on this subject what your intentions were. But now, since we're talking about charity here, let's talk about another commentator who tried to use charity as a shield. It's the channel I mentioned yesterday. I'm going to keep them anonymous because, again, I'm not trying to lead a brigade against any of these channels, Dream SMP included, but I do want to bring up what they did. This commentary channel posted 9 or 10 videos on Technoblade's passing. When he was called out for it, he then made a big hoopla about how all of it's actually going to charity and this was actually a noble thing he was doing. And then last night, he posted a video titled, I donated $3,000 to charity, the Technoblade tribute, and I even mentioned it in last night's video, but it turns out that was entirely fake. They faked the donation. As if this situation couldn't get any more shameless, an actual fake charity donation video. Now, I saw this right before going to bed last night. It was posted by a YouTuber named Kat. Mudahar recently posted a video today on the situation where he goes into even more detail on how exactly the donation was faked, but I'm just going to give you like the brief summary here from Kat's video.
Yeah, we're gonna donate $3,000. Let's click I'm not a robot. Yeah, let's just get it over with. $3,000. Let's click I'm not a robot. Yeah, let's just get it over with.
Okay, so basically what he did was type in 3,000 and then it shows donate $3,000 with a comma, and then he actually cuts the video before he donates. And what he actually cuts out is basically he changes the amount to something lower, and then he used inspect element and then changed the amount to 3,000, but he forgot to add the comma.
Caught red-handed with his pants down in the cookie jar. This was an exposed in 4K moment for the cringe compilation. So now let's boot Scoot and Boogie into a more thorough explanation of what happened. This YouTube commentary channel made 9 or 10 videos on Technoblade's passing, and then in their donation video showed the revenue some of the videos had earned, and it was up to like 2.6K. Then said he was adding $300 of his own money to the pot to bring it up to a nice even 3,000, and then donated it in video. But this YouTuber Cat noticed that there was something wrong and figured out that what actually happened here is the commentary YouTuber faked it by using inspect element. So he initially typed in 3,000 to get a legitimate 3,000 donation on screen. He then cut the video, changed it to a lower amount, and then inspect elemented it to bring it back to 3,000, but forgot the comma. So a big whoops-a-daisy there, and it turns out he was absolutely right. That's exactly what the commentary channel did. In a follow-up video, the YouTuber posted the truth about my donation, where he openly admitted that he faked it. He said he was under so much pressure from the community to donate the money that he wanted to do it right away but didn't have $3,000, so he donated $300 of his own money and faked the rest, and was planning on donating it once the money came in from YouTube. Of course, I don't know who the fuck would ever believe him. You'd have to be like actually clinically insane to trust this man, to take his word on anything. Faking a charity donation is about as low as it gets, but that was his explanation. He deleted the video where he openly admits to it. He now has another video where he just talks about how he's the most hated Minecraft YouTuber now, which makes sense because faking a donation to charity after you've been milking a tragedy is just the ultimate insult and beyond despicable. I actually can't understand how anyone could possibly support this person going forward, but to my surprise, there still are. In his video where he talks about being the most hated Minecraft YouTuber, there's so many comments that are like, it takes so much courage to admit when you're wrong. I'm so thankful that you admitted that you faked it, and I forgive you. Can't wait for your next upload. But why? You know, I mean, you're totally within your right to do that if you want, all power to you. But why? The content he makes is this shit. When Technoblade was first diagnosed, this same commentary channel made like fucking 20 videos on that. The exact same thing he just did on his passing, he also did for his diagnosis. Why watch that? What the fuck is the point? You can't trust him. He's faked a donation, and if he was never caught for faking it, I don't think he would have actually bothered donating the 2.6K. He would have just kept it. You know, there's no way of knowing, but I don't think he would have. he just got exposed for it and then again tried to take the high road and play the victim. It's so fucking gross how low some of these channels will go for the sake of views and subscribers. Because like I mentioned yesterday, this channel has gained 16,000 subs in the last 5 days that he's been milking this content, which is 16 times the normal rate of subscribers that he gains in a fucking month. So he's profiting off this massively and then still faking donations on top of it. It just blows my mind. I wanted to do a little follow-up on the situation since it's getting even crazier, and I really do hope that this will be the last of it and people finally just stop with all of this absolute garbage. And yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. Alright everyone, it's time to get out the tinfoil butt plug and put that way up in there because it's about to get really into the conspiracy side of YouTube. I'm sure a lot of you, if you've been on the platform over the last month at all for any duration of time, you've been recommended a video from a creator named Janelle Eliana. She is a up-and-coming creator, and that's not even the right word for it. She's an exploding creator, a fucking supernova superstar of YouTube, who in 2 videos has amassed 1.4 million subscribers and growing 100,000 subscribers a day. Now, for anyone that's ever used a platform or used any platform ever on the internet, you know those numbers are nuts. In fact, they're more than nuts. They're the whole goddamn penis. Those numbers are unbelievable to the point where it seems fake, phony, as if it was artificially boosted. And this is where we get into the conspiracy theory on Janelle Eliana's explosion on YouTube. I want to say right away, I actually like her videos. The 2 videos she's posted, I think are interesting. She's entertaining, and I could see those videos being very popular with audiences. I think they're very well made. But that being said, 2 videos, 1.4 million views, and every single account getting recommended both videos is a little suspicious, especially when you consider the fact that Susan, the head of YouTube, once said this to Juice WRLD.
Gee, you know how we spoke about getting your subscribers up? She's the big boss of it all.
Oh,
so
yeah.
this is the real, this is the whole thing.
I know. How can we help you? You're so talented. We gotta get your subscriber numbers way up. We're gonna make it happen, alright?
So, using what you just heard from Susan, it's not out of the realm of possibility to think that YouTube would artificially increase someone's subscriber numbers, or at the very least, handpick people to start showing everyone to try and get more attention their way. You know, bypassing their own algorithm and just handpicking channels to explode. And that's exactly how this feels. It feels very manufactured and calculated. I even tested this myself. I logged on to Tiana's old YouTube account, one she hasn't logged into in at least a year or 2 years, and I was immediately recommended Janelle Eliana on the homepage. Right away, both videos. And that's a little surprising to me. I couldn't walk out my front door right now without seeing like a fucking blimp going by with Janelle Eliana's YouTube channel on it. I'd open my mail and it's probably nothing but Janelle Eliana YouTube letters, brochures telling me to go subscribe. They are shoving Janelle Eliana down everyone's urethra. And now circling back to the video of Susan, the head of YouTube, flirting with Juice WRLD and really puffing out her chest saying, you know, we can blow your shit up real hard, buddy. This is exactly what it feels like. This is what they've done with Janelle. And a lot of people say that it all came from Instagram because she did have an Instagram account before starting YouTube. However, in a video from a YouTuber called Memology, they talk about this by showing that her Instagram account had no growth until July 12th, which is after her first video was posted, which means the growth on her Instagram came from YouTube, not the other way around. Her Instagram followers didn't go to YouTube and blow her shit up. The YouTube people went from YouTube and blew up her Instagram shit. So there was really no connection between her already having Instagram and then posting that video. It just seemingly out of nowhere, all of a sudden just fucking caught fire and started fisting everyone's recommendations with her content. And again, I think she made quality content, and this whole conspiracy revolves around how unnatural it all seems. And this conspiracy theory is only just getting started. Fuckle your seatbelt, because we're going deeper and it gets even bigger in scale. There's more twists and turns and wild, wacky adventures in this conspiracy theory. It's like fucking Game of Thrones again, but without shitty writing in the last 2 seasons. So, a couple months ago, YouTube announced that they're going to be abbreviating public subscriber count. And what that means is sites like Social Blade are no longer going to be able to give people real-time subscriber information. And Social Blade is a site that people go to look at trends and see channel growth, and it allows you to identify shit like Janelle's incredible channel growth. By abbreviating the subscriber count and getting rid of the site's ability to display these things, people aren't going to be able to track how quickly a channel is growing, which means YouTube could easily hide the fact that they're artificially increasing a channel's subscriber numbers and putting them more on the front page because you wouldn't be able to track that data, since it'd only go in 100,000 or 1,000,000 increments. Now, why would they want to artificially boost channels? Well, the conspiracy theorists suggest that it's because they want it to be more like television, where they take channels like Janelle with easily digestible, family-friendly content that's super safe for advertisers, and boost that shit up hugely so that way it can be the face of YouTube and the direction it wants to go in. And to be honest, I kind of understand that idea because YouTube really does actively want to be like television. The entire trending page is just turbo late night with Jimmy Fallimmel. But ultimately, I have to completely disagree with this portion of the conspiracy theory because YouTube is totally shameless. They wouldn't try and hide shit. They're not exactly criminals going in and bleaching their fingerprints. They're not going to hide any evidence. They're very open with the fact that they don't give a shit. If YouTube's going to artificially boost a channel, they're probably going to brag about it on Twitter. Like, hey guys, we just dumped 10 million subscribers on this channel. Fuck yeah, baby. Suck our assholes. YouTube doesn't give a shit. They're not going to go through the effort of implementing new systems to hide some shady shit they're doing. They've never done that in the past. You have to be new to the platform to think that it cares enough to hide any of the dumb shit they do. They know they have a monopoly, they know they can get away with anything, so they're not going to bother going through that effort. They outright will take a big old loogie, spit it right in your eye. They're not going to hide it. I'm pretty certain the reason they want to abbreviate the sub count is that way so people can't use it as a weapon, I think is their idea. Imagine being so goddamn pathetic you think unsubscribing to someone is a weaponized terrorist act, but I think that's their idea because the James Charles thing, the cancel culture, pro-Jared, people like the mob mentality where they all contribute to the common goal of canceling somebody, and YouTube doesn't like that people aren't playing nice. So they want to inhibit people's ability to join the mob. If you can't see how many subscribers someone's losing, you're less likely to hop aboard the unsubscribe train. I don't know. I think that's their thought process. That's what it seems like because that change came at the tail end of the James Charles controversy, so the timing seems a little fishy there. I imagine that's the idea. I don't think the artificially boosting a channel is correlated with the abbreviated sub count at all. Now, I do want to give credit to YouTube. I've been kind of taking a shit on them, but they have been making changes to the copyright enforcement system, so credit where credit is due, YouTube. I like what you're doing with the copyright thing, and I hope you continue to make attempts to at least bridge the gap between creator and platform and make it a better platform overall. Back to the conspiracy shit, baby. People are being automatically subbed to her channel. This one I can't confirm or deny. I logged in on Tiana's old YouTube account. She was not subscribed, though she was constantly recommended the videos. And in Memology's video, he shows a lot of screenshots from about 1,000 fucking commenters that all say they were automatically subbed to her and have no idea who she is or why they were subbed to her. There's no way to confirm if that's real. It could just be people making shit up for the sake of a myth on YouTube, like the Loch Ness Monster, or, like the boogeyman of YouTube. Help, guys. My YouTube account's been hacked and haunted by the ghost of Chad Hurley, and I've been automatically subscribed to Janelle. What's going on? Well, shit. Need an exorcism. It could be totally fake. People subscribed and forgot. People accidentally subscribed. But the conspiracy goes even deeper. Just had a fucking fat voice crack, so maybe there is some paranormal play here. Going deeper, they say YouTube has access to the inactive accounts that they occasionally purge. As some of you know, if an account gets way too inactive, they just get rid of the account. That being said, they say that they are subscribing those really old accounts to her, so it's not suspicious. No one's account is meant to get automatically subscribed. It's an accident if it does, because they're trying to do the inactive ones to her. There's no way of knowing if that's real or not. That's really grasping. That I seem to be highly unlikely that they're using inactive accounts to mass subscribe to her. There's literally no way at all to know unless YouTube just comes out and, takes off their shirt, waves it over their head. Yep, we've been doing that. Woohoo, yaha, I've been doing it. There's no way you're ever going to get confirmation on that. And there's no way to know if being automatically subscribed to her is a real thing or just, again, made up. I was rendering the video and then remembered I didn't talk about this anime's villain. So, according to conspiracy theorist Philip DeFranco is the puppet master pulling the strings and making Janelle Eliana dance. He is the secret behind her success because in a recent video, Philip talks about her and promotes her channel. Now, it is a little odd that out of nowhere he just starts promoting her, saying how much he loves her channel, jerking off to it every day. It's the perfect zig to the YouTube zag. It's amazing. It's great. It is a little odd and out of place, but I don't know if that's actually good evidence, solid evidence to confirm that he has a hand in it, because he really does just talk about news and shit like that, so maybe he was just talking about it because she was already blowing up. I don't know. I don't really like the guy. I'm not going to white knight him and fight his battles, but it's not exactly strong evidence. And as a whole, I think the conspiracy theory has a lot of problems with it, though there is something very unnatural about Janelle's growth. And again, Memeology's video talks about it in pretty good detail, but in a nutshell, it doesn't take too long and too much thinking to realize that, hey, someone's first video on a platform that doesn't really have a pre-established following probably is pretty unlikely to get 5 million views in a week. That seems a little odd. Oh, it's even odder that she's getting 100,000 subs a day on only 2 videos. That's a little weird. You know, you don't have to connect a lot of dots or do a whole lot of thought experimenting to figure out that something's a little fishy there. And with Susan having that video of her saying that she can blow up a channel out of nowhere, it's a little fishy. But anyway, just wanted to talk about this because I think it's an interesting subject, and that's about it. So yeah. You know that classic trope you'll see occasionally in TV shows where they have the character go to a therapist, the therapist will hold up ink blots and say, how does this make you feel? Well, I'm going to do that with you right now. Let's do this exercise together. I'm going to show you a picture, and I don't even need to ask how it makes you feel. I know exactly how this picture makes you feel. Disgusted. That right there, friends, is a picture of Jack No Sack Doherty. He's like this embarrassing cringe SCP that elicits a fight or flight response from everyone that looks at him, but no one ever chooses flight, they always choose fight, because everybody hates this guy and wants to fight him. I've made fun of him plenty of times, everybody has. Mr. Rogers would bully Jack Doherty. He is just biologically engineered to be unlikable. From the decisions he makes, to the things that he does, to the way that he behaves, like everything about him is just yucky and makes people want to like lash out at him. Like it's actually impressive just how hard it is to find anything good about Jack Doherty. So I've covered him even recently where he crashed his McLaren and his friend was bleeding. He's like, oh man, like, you start filming me? Oh, my McLaren. It's that guy. And I covered him previously when he would go around harassing people and then hiding behind his bodyguards when they tried to fight him for it. He is just a menace. And he's done plenty of other things too that I haven't bothered insulting him for, but I just can't resist the urge to insult him today as well, because now he has become so desperate after getting banned everywhere for all of the terrible shit that he does, that he's resorted to pump and dump crypto scamming the last remaining splinter of his audience. Any news on Jack Doherty? Yeah, he just did a rug pull today. Or last night. He got in on that pump.fun rug pull. He couldn't resist the forbidden fruit. It was, I think he deleted a lot of it. Well, let me pull it up. He's streaming on a super obscure site called Party 2. I just heard about Party. The reason I heard about it is because it apparently just launched recently and it's already filled with porn. I don't know if he streamed this. I don't think he streamed this on Party. I think this was on just straight up Twitter. Yeah.
Start off and then press Party. Where's Party? It's already there. It's already on. And press. Alright, going about it by. Let's see. Anyone that gets it right, guys, I'm gonna be sending your soul to you guys. If you guys want some soul, I'm gonna be sending some soul to y'all.
It's crazy how I can click anywhere in this 23 minute stream. Holy. And I thought I barely streamed. Oh my. But it's crazy how I can click anywhere in this 23-minute stream and just hit a place where he is scamming. Just a random spot. Yeah, here it is. He eventually buys McLaren. Because of his McLaren crash, he's leaning into it. So he keeps talking about buying the McLaren coin on Pump Fun. All that Solana. Oh boy. And eventually just in stream without saying anything. It doesn't even look like he made much money from the rug either. Like, if you just look at the graph, it doesn't seem like he even made off with it like any money. Was it that initial pump and dump? That's what I couldn't tell. I think so. Like, it must have been. I'm pretty sure his friends made it in the background, so he was stalling for time, which is what the Reddit speculates as well. But it just doesn't seem like he even made much from it. He's just that desperate. And also, very few people even bothered playing ball with it, but everyone who did deserved to get scammed. If you're putting money into a Jack Dorky fucking meme coin on pump.fun, you just shouldn't have access to your money. You need a guardian. You need someone that handles it for you and shuts down your bad ideas. If I needed money to pay bills, would it be okay to pump and dump, or is it illegal? That's the craziest. I don't know if you're memeing or not, but the craziest thing is the TikTok fucking broccoli hair 9-year-olds, like, all of them are getting fed pump and dumps, and a lot of them think that that's like a totally normal thing to do and not bad. It's not regulated, but it's not legal. It is still illegal. It's fraudulent. It's scamming. It is still illegal, but no one's going to get punished for it. But since it's not regulated, you're not going to see Jack Dorky get taken away in handcuffs. It's fucked because kids thinking it's a way of life. They should be worried about toys. Yeah, like the 13-year-old that rugged 3 times in a day for 50 grand. Oh, God. It's sad. It's actually sad. I'm sure he's going to do more of these, too. I just have a hunch he's going to keep doing this, because it is like an infinite money glitch right now. It seems like everyone who makes a pump.fun coin is getting tons of suckers to immediately buy in, hoping that they're there early enough for when it graduates and they make like a fat bag off it. But it's just not going to happen. It is just not going to happen. You have better odds in the lottery. But I know there are a lot of people who have already made tons of money from it. Just like there's people that have made tons of money from the lottery. It's just not going to be you. Pump and dumping crypto is a moral good because it scams crypto bros. It's your civic duty and also funny. Wow. Checkmate, actually. I was going to try and like have an argument against you, but you're right. The only people on pump.fun are actually the people who deserve to get scammed. You're cooking. Wait a minute. You just fucking flambéed that. There's mathematically better odds at beating a pump and dump than winning lotto casinos. I think you do have like slightly higher odds, but you have to also calculate that everyone on pump.fun is scamming. Like, they are rug pulls. So you are not in on when that's coming. So you still have to get absurdly lucky, which is why it's still like statistically very unlikely that anyone that's outside of the scammer's ring makes money off of the pump.fun rugs. Why can't they just keep the coin going and take a bit out here and there instead of rug pulling? I feel like it's long-term more profitable. Scamming seems so dumb. That was so innocent. That was like a kid asking, why do people do bad things? The reason you rug it is because there is no long-term with a pump.fun shitcoin. It is designed to be rugged. They don't have a use. It's there to pump and then take your money out so people are left holding the bag. You can't take little bits and pieces out because then you risk not being the benefactor. It is actually, from a design perspective, there to fail, and you calculate the fail. It's so degenerate. Is Jack gonna get jumped soon? I doubt it, man. Anyone that bought into the pump.fun probably had their parents' permission to do it. If they wanted to jump Jack, they'd have to talk to their dad to have him drive over there. Otherwise, they have to roll up on the green machine. They claim Pump prevents rugs by making sure all created tokens are safe. Each coin on Pump is a fair launch with no pre-sale and no long... Yeah, I saw. That's just to cover their own ass legally. Pump.fun is making so much money, they're going to be in the crosshairs of, like, regulators or investigators or something down the line. So they're just doing all they can to, like, legally cover themselves, but the site is literally made for rug pulls. That's the whole point. It's going to give birth to a whole new generation of highly skilled and experienced scammers. Nope. No, it is not. Like that 13-year-old with the huge rug pull the other day for Quant. He didn't do anything like technically impressive. On the site, on pump.fun, I don't want to pull up the site. The site is so fucking degenerate. But on the site, there's something that just says start coin. You click start coin and you can just make your shit token. He didn't do anything besides just click make coin using whatever fucking protocol is native there. I have no idea. Launched it and then just streamed, and then people started putting money into it, and he said, thanks for the 20 bandos, left, and then came back with, I'm sorry, thanks for the 10 bandos, left, then came back for Lucy, another 10 bandos, idiots, and then left. The experience he gained is that people are fucking idiots. That was the experience he gained from it. He's not highly skilled. Crazy to think Quant Kid probably made 50K from scamming and probably still believes in Santa. Yeah, he's gonna try and buy one of the reindeer from Santa's sleigh. Not satisfied with just one pump and dump on his audience, Jack Dorky did it again. Like King Neptune, he said, that was so good I want to try it a second time. So he apparently did another stream on Twitter where he rugged another coin. I can't find that broadcast, so I only have this screenshot to go off of, but you can still see the tweets that he was posting about it before going live. So he clearly was doing a meme coin stream, then deleted some of the tweets, and in the comment section you can see people being very upset that he rugged them again. The shitcoin this time around for Jack was hated. The lore being people hate Jack for good reason. So he immediately rugged it as soon as he could, speedrunning financial crimes with a goofy smile on his face that not even his mother could love. And now, as an act of revenge, the people that got rugged are now driving the price of hated up really high. Same play that we saw from the playbook when that 13-year-old rugged people with Quant, and then after he was out, they drove the market cap through the goddamn roof. They fucking blasted that Insano style in order for the kid to feel bad because he made 30K when he could have made $1 million if he held. Though he would have never made $1 million because if he didn't rug them, it would have never had that market cap because people wouldn't have done that. It's a secondary scam. So what happened is people got rugged, then they start putting in more and more money to give the appearance like, hey, we need to get revenge, so we're going to drive this up. So then they drive it up in order to get some people to buy in, so that way the people that got rugged can get the fuck out without taking as much of a loss on it. So that's what they're trying again here with Jack Dorky's meme coin. I can't believe people bought into his first shit coin with McLaren, let alone the second time. This is the exact same thing that just happened on the same site with the exact same formula here a couple days ago with Quant. And people are still falling victim to it. And Jack is going to keep doing this. Jack is probably going to do this every single day. And unfortunately, I think it's going to work every single time because for some reason, people keep thinking that they are the galaxy brain. They are the one who knocks. Yeah, it's a rug pull. We know Jack's going to rug it, but I'm going to be there when he does to capitalize off all the idiots, all the sheep that don't see between the lines like I do. Wake the fuck up, moron. Everybody knows that. Everyone's doing that same thing, which is why you keep getting rugged. That's the whole purpose of this. Like, it's going to keep happening. The only person that wins, well, two people, Jack and Pump.Fun. Pump.Fun's making 20 million plus a month off of this degeneracy. And Jack is able to just keep farming imbeciles, absolute buffoons. It actually blows my mind how willing people are to just get scammed, blatantly scammed, laughed at in their face, and keep coming back for more. It's nuts. So I expect Jack to be doing this every day until the fucking authorities show up and take him away in handcuffs, if that day ever comes. He is literally streaming himself committing financial crimes. But because it's in the crypto sector, it's not something they actively pursue all that hard. But maybe they will at some point, and he'll face the piper then. Anyway, though, that's really about it. See ya. What does every douche-tuber have in common besides a micro-penis? Energy. That's right. You see, the douche-tuber species has learned that in order to keep the attention of children, they have to jingle keys in front of them constantly. They have to pop out a titty that's full of milk for them to suckle on, and it's a very high-energy titty they need to present. Thus, they always put on a fake persona, and you get those real crazy wild intros, the What's going on, fam squad? Today we're doing the try not to call Thanos at 3 a.m. challenge and come in our pants. Are you ready, bitch boy? I'm ready, shit boy. Let's get into it. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Yeehaw, whoa, 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 whoa. That's why you always end up with that shit, because children like the energy. They feed off it. But what happens when the douche-tubers have no energy and are very boring? Let's find out. I just want to quickly say this warning has never held less meaning than it does on this video. This is another pause challenge. This is from the Martinez twins, and the most extreme stunt they do here is shoot water from a hose in their face. It's not exactly the most dangerous and daring Evel Knievel stunts. It's not like they're trained to take water from a hose to the face. It's just not that fucking big of a deal. I don't think they needed the warning. Some real edgier seat action there to start this shit off here. I mean, he comes out of the bathroom looking like a fucking Gryffindor recruit at Hogwarts, and then he comes out of the closet looking like a standard douche-tuber. But what's missing here is any energy at all, or effort, really. It's super weird. This comes across as like a really bad scene in an indie movie. This almost looks like a Neil Breen scene, honestly. There's nothing happening, there's no reason for it. This could have totally just been edited out and they could just say, hey, let's go ahead and start this. But instead, they take 20 seconds to show him going in the bathroom, you know, jerking off real quick, coming out, and then changed. What's the point?
Okay, I'm ready. You see me? I'm ready. Ready to go. First of all, we gotta wake up my brother, so we should go.
It honestly never occurred to me just how important that royalty-free background music is to Douchebag's YouTube videos, because you notice he doesn't use anything, it's just completely quiet and him talking at it, and it's so uncomfortable. It's like the start of snuff video or like poorly acted porn. And when you don't have that background music in there, it just really highlights how fake your energy is, and it really just makes it seem so fucking weird. This intro should serve as a PSA to up-and-coming assholes to make sure you have some music in there.
You wanna wake up everyone? Yeah, bro. Hi.
Hi.
Oh, wait, what? Yo.
Oh.
Now these two were part of Jake Paul's Team 10 at one point, but they split off to do their own douchebag videos, but they're not very good at it. Like, watching their videos is like watching a Snapchat story, but with even less energy.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think it's dope. Hey, welcome to Starbucks. I just want an ice vanilla latte with some milk. And where are you looking at? I want a cookie. My name is...
I honestly have no fucking clue what that little skit was right there, but it seemed like something right out of Tommy Wiseau's The Room. I don't understand what that was. I think it was them trying to like voice act what happened when they went into Starbucks, but I honestly have no idea what that fucking disaster was. It was a beautiful, beautiful piece, honestly probably directed by Neil Breen himself there, and probably the best part of the video, really.
Morning routine every single day. We go to Starbucks. We eat sandwich and we drink coffee.
Who gives a shit about your morning routine?
Ivan, pose.
Pose. Are you okay? Yeah.
I take back what I said at the beginning of the videos. That stunt right there is definitely something you shouldn't try at home. They do seem like trained professionals when it comes to dumping water on each other. So honestly, I could see why the warning's there now. I like that he checks to make sure his brother's okay, because that really did seem like it could have fucking obliterated him.
Okay. What's up, man?
Yo, what up?
What are you doing?
Taking care of the... No.
Pause.
Stop.
Bro!
Taking care of what? You're just making mud pies. This man just standing out here with the garden hose spraying dirt with water. Yeah, you're working real hard over there. Truly trained professionals don't try this shit at home.
Oh my god.
This pause challenge is getting wild. Some gut-busting, side-splitting comedy by spraying his brother with a hose right into busting up some AirPods. Honestly, the AirPods thing, I'd say he was doing him a favor. Fuck that shit, stick with the cord. You goddamn turbo virgins using AirPods, I just don't see the point. You can like what you want to like, alright? I just don't give a shit about that kind of wireless headphone mumbo-jumbo hocus pocus. I prefer the cord. And, well, back to the pause challenge.
Good. I'm feeling good. Sorry. Pause! It's been twice in a day. Wait, don't worry. Pause. Pause!
Now this one does look like an unironically dangerous stunt right here. He is benching some fat fucking weight there. That looks like it might be pushing 40 pounds. So making him pause like that, there's only so much the human muscles can take. It's gonna give out and destroy his sternum if he keeps him paused for too long. I fucking love the weights on here. Where did he find these weights? At Whole Foods or some shit? Where do you even find weights that look like these? This looks like a toy weight set that a child would have. You know, like my toddler's first bodybuilding set, my toddler's first gym, my toddler's first CrossFit trip. I don't understand this. I have to know how much that shit weighs. It can't be more than 2.5 pounds. It looks like it's made out of fucking Play-Doh.
Stop. Bro, yo, this is crazy. Okay, let me pause that.
It's very clear every douchebag on YouTube is connected in one way or another, because when they do these challenges, they always do kind of the same thing. Every pause challenge has the pantsing in public, and a lot of other similar things. It's just like this interconnected web of assholes. You know, it's like asshole to asshole, like Requiem of a Dream style. Like they just suction cup to each other. And it's sickening. Like, at least be creative with your douchebaggery. Like, at least, you know, come up with your own ideas with it.
And I hope you like... I hope you guys like this video. Give it a big so. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Yeah, wait.
Pause.
No.
Yeah, so that wraps up that exhilarating pause challenge. I thought this was just super weird that they wouldn't just do the most basic shit that they all do by having wacky sound effects and the background music and stuff, and they very clearly fake their energy and then at times don't even bother faking energy, just have it completely monotone. It's super different from most douchetubers. Like, they're breaking ground here. They're going against the grain, and I just thought it was an interesting little video to look at here. So that's what happens when there's no energy in the douche tubing. See ya. In the event of a celebrity's death, there's always a lot of confusion afterwards, but there's one thing you can always be 100% certain and rest assured of. Michael McCrudden's jerking off because that celebrity's dead now and is frantically doing research on Wikipedia to make a quick video about them. Now, who is Michael McCrudden? Michael McCrudden is YouTube's most popular necrophiliac. His content focuses on biographies for celebrities called Before They Were Famous, and his newest most popular series, Before They Were Gone, which is basically just middle school book report level research done on celebrities after they've died. And it's very greedy and disgusting because these Before They Were Gone videos are released hours after the celebrity's death. Before the fucking body even goes cold, he's got a video up. And before the fucking family knows the celebrity's gone, Michael McCrudden's already got the video up. If a fucking family member in your family dies, Michael McCrudden's probably already got a video to showcase at the funeral to celebrate it. And he monetizes these super heavily, which, you know, it's not like an evil thing. If you're going to talk about news and stuff, you're going to talk about death. I understand monetizing that. But in their Before They Were Gone videos, they're so lazily thrown together and so shitty. And he has the audacity to throw at bare minimum 4 ad breaks in his 11-minute Before They Were Gone videos, such as the Mac Miller one, which came up pretty much as Mac Miller was dying. Mac Miller was probably still alive when Michael McCrudden had this video done. So I thought it would be kind of fun to do my own little video on this vulture here. So this is before he was an internet douchebag, asshole, greedy motherfucker, Michael McCrudden's story. Now this is a little bit more low budget than Michael McCrudden's magnum opus of video content. However, I'm going to follow his established formula of getting most of the facts wrong anyway. Michael McCrudden was born to single mother Ruth Patty Winkle in 1986. As a child, he would wake up every morning and instead of watching cartoons before school, he would read obituaries and put a nice smile on his face. Michael McCrudden always found himself fascinated and in love with the idea of death and monetizing it. However, this morbid fascination led to Mr. McCrudden being ostracized by his peers because he would often write preemptive eulogies for each of his classmates in the event that they died. However, McCrudden has always possessed an iron will and a small penis, so he never let his isolation bother him. He knew his path and he knew what he had to do. He knew he was destined to fuck corpses with a condom made out of $100 bills, and that's exactly what he's done. His big breakthrough came in the mid-1990s when Mr. McCrudden was but a young teenager and his cousin's beloved family dog had just passed away. McCrudden was able to sneak into his cousin's house and steal the dog's body and then charge the family $150 to get the body back to bury it and pay its respects. It was a genius move from Mr. McCrudden. It really paved the way for how he would monetize death in the future. Fast forward to present day, and Jesus, he's such a fucking douchebag. And depending on the celebrity's size when they die, he'll often make 3 or so videos just kind of milking the shit out of their death to make as much money off it as possible. He's a fucking sick guy. I don't understand why people watch him. If they want the kind of information he delivers, they can literally just go to the first Wikipedia page and find everything he talked about. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if in like a year from now, with his Before They Were Gones, he actually had videos he himself took of the celebrities while outside their house at night, just for some more like authentic home video style things. Because right now all he does is just rip videos from other sources and put them there, which you would expect. But I'm expecting Michael McCrudden's going to amp this up to the next level and get more involved in celebrity deaths, maybe start praying more often to the Grim Reaper to kill more celebrities, because apparently that's all Mr. McCrudden looks forward to. It's fucking disgusting, and I think he's a big old piece of shit, as do most people. But yeah, that's the end of this episode for Before They Were a Douchebag. This was the Michael McCrudden true Hollywood story. Thanks for tuning in. See ya. A question I've been getting asked a lot recently that I wanted to publicly talk about is, why have I been making videos insulting children's content? I'm a full-grown man. I'm not no snot-nosed multiplication table learning little bitch. I'm a full-grown fucking man who understands multiplication for the most part. I know I may have the height of a toddler who's just now hitting puberty and maybe has a bit of a calcium deficiency, but alas, I am still a hairy-dicked, hairy-assholed man. So why am I insulting children's content? It's clearly not geared towards me. Well, the reason is it's shitty content. Yeah, that goes without saying. It's not exactly brave to insult the children's content on YouTube. Saying family-friendly YouTube content is bad and shitty is like saying one-ply toilet paper is evil. Everybody already knows that. The main reason I target the douchebags that make the content geared towards children is because they aim to exploit the children. They always pretty much demand that they hit the like button or else they're not a real fan and they'll never be their friend and they're never going to have a girlfriend and no girls are ever going to show them nipples or anything. They make it seem like you're a loser if you don't hit the like button for them. And the content aims to set a very bad example to children who are very impressionable. So you have people like Rice Gum, and I always use him as an example for this type of shit because he's truly the poster child for being a micro-penised douchebag who just throws his success in the face of his fans and spits on them. And you have people like him who incentivize these children to hit the like button and comment and join the family, and they make it seem like you're not gonna be successful or cool if you don't emulate that type of behavior. So you have these children that look at Rice Gum and want to be like him, aspire to be like him, so they start acting like him, a huge piece of shit. So then you have a whole bunch of children growing up to try and become a piece of shit. Being an uneducated fucking loser is now the cool thing to do because you have people on the platform of YouTube showing how successful you can be by being that way. And I honestly just have no respect for this group of people at all. Every adjective you could ever use when describing a piece of gum that's stuck to the bottom of a urinal is an adjective that would also apply to this group of douchebag YouTubers that exploit children. All in all, they're just the worst possible role models. Like fucking Jake Paul made that song about fuck teachers. Fuck teachers, yeah, what a great positive message. Fuck teachers, a message delivered from Jake Paul, who can hardly even speak English. A man who offers nothing to the world and has just barely enough brain power to keep himself from drooling 24/7. Yeah, fuck teachers, what a great fucking message to send. I'm not exactly the type of guy that's always like, think of the children, we need to ban swear words because kids might hear them and burn down a church because they heard those bad words. Pornography needs to go, that's so unholy, kids might find that, think of the children. Bitch, if pornography didn't exist, the world would be in flames by now. We would have lost the ozone layer 20 years ago. Pornography saved humans. Can't ban that shit. But when talking about this platform, I do think when you have these douchebags who make content solely to exploit children for their own financial gain, that's something you really need to think about and take a look at. So why I choose that type of content to shit on so frequently is because, well, it's really just bad content that's fun to shit on, and also I feel like it's rightfully so. It's a target that, you know, there's no passion behind. It's a bad person who's making it, and they're doing it for malicious intent. Why wouldn't you want to make fun of that, or at least show people this type of shit and make people aware of what's going on, so that way maybe somebody who sees it and has a younger brother or a son or a daughter that maybe watches this type of shit, maybe sit them down and be like, hey, you know, you can watch this type of shit, but just, I hope you don't end up like this, you know what I mean? Because it's bad. Nobody likes those kind of people in the world. Yeah, I guess it might be cool to children online to see that type of success and that attitude, but in the real world, nobody likes that. It's a hard news flash, and I'm sorry to splash you with that cold pee-pee water, but nobody likes those people. I'm 100% sure Rice Gum doesn't act like that in the real world like he does online, because he wouldn't have any friends. He wouldn't have anybody still in his life. But kids, they don't know that. They probably think that Rice Gum is just like that in the real world. A real fucking lit savage who goes around slapping homeless people with $100 bills, laughing as he does it, and then brushing the ass crack of strippers with cocaine. They will look at that and think, okay, so that attitude has clearly got him a lot of success with this nice house and all this money. I'm going to do that too. And then they will, and they'll wonder why they're all alone. A lot of people probably think I'm just talking out of my ass, like, oh yeah, I'm sure all the kids understand that it's just an act and they're not just being used, but I mean, they very clearly are being used. You can tell by the way the douchebags act about it, but we'll disregard that. It doesn't mean they're going to be bad people because they look up to these bad people as role models. I can give you a very easy counterexample. The KSI versus Logan Paul fight, all of their fans were the most destructive fans I'd seen in quite a while. They were worse than some soccer fans. There was those videos of literal riots about the KSI versus Logan Paul fight. Both of them have content aimed at children. Both of them are douchebags, and they have been doing this for a while. So they've had an audience of children following them through their formative years. And look how they turned out, judging by their public appearance at the fight conferences, where they had actual riots and destruction of property and fucking public urination and defecation charges and shit. They're becoming bad people. And I'm not going to blame, you know, Logan Paul and KSI solely for that. A lot of it falls onto the parents. But as you can see, there's clearly at least some type of correlation here between looking up to bad people and how you start to turn out and what kind of persona you start to take on, what kind of mask you wear. It's just bad. When you have content that's geared towards just exploiting people and acting like a douchebag for money and views and likes, you're gonna have people that try and emulate that and take on that in the real world, and that fucking sucks. Nobody likes those people. So I choose shitty, family-friendly, exploitative content to insult and shit on because it's bad content that's fun to insult. And in my eyes, if I can at least show people why the person is a douchebag, that's a big win because it makes more people aware, and maybe even the douchebag in question, they're not going to change, never mind. But yeah, it at least makes people aware that they're a big old fucking douchebag, so that's good. You know, it helps raise awareness and shit. So yeah, that's it. So yeah.